everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Fourtress of, a podcast about movies, TV shows, video games, and lots of pop culture and nerd things. My name is Oscar. I'll be one of your hosts today. And with me, per usual, you know him as New Reliable. He's definitely New Reliable today. And
Oh, no.
also Mr. Negative is in a Dragon Ball Z arc. It is Brian, everyone. It's me and Brian again. Hello, Brian. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm living my best life. I'm trying to get my mic straight because it's doing its own thing, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. I mean, it's been a long weekend, Brian. I'm just gonna say for myself,
Yeah.
very tired. So honestly, very happy this is a mini-sode.
Allegedly, as always. It's always allegedly.
Allegedly. It's true. Since it's me and you, who knows? But allegedly a mini-sode, listeners. Yeah, with that, it's just me and Brian this week. And as you can see from the title, we're gonna just kind of cover a lot of newsies news stuff and then get to the big main topic of the week and just kind of we'll explain that in a minute. Let's get to the news first though, Brian. Because there was a lot this week. Let's start with a piece of news that came out, like, I think the day of the podcast came out. We missed it by like a day or some shit. And that is more Deadpool 3 news. And this is, I would say I'm excited in the sense that, but also kind of weird that this is how they revealed this. It's Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, but he's donning the classic blue and yellow suit that we've always wanted to see him in. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we finally got the blue and yellow. And everyone's saying that if only we can get that man 2 feet shorter, we'd really be cooking.
That's true. Honestly, I need him to wear the mask though.
Yes.
I need to see what that looks like. Dude.
I assume it's gonna come out at some point, and that's gonna be like one of that big thing that's like, holy shit, where everyone's gonna clap and shit. It's gonna be all over Twitter.
Right.
I really wonder if it's gonna be really. They're gonna do one of two things. It's gonna be a really cool moment, or it's gonna be a moment that Ryan Reynolds gets to make fun of him for it.
He's definitely gonna make fun of him for it.
But it's gonna be two versions. One version that he makes fun of him for it, and then he gets another version because he made fun of it. He's like, "Bro, you look fucking stupid." Something like that. They gotta make a joke out of it. They have to.
Yeah. Honestly, it looks good. I'm excited. Like this kind of leads into a bigger Deadpool 3 story in the sense that like there was also some footage or leaked set photos of what looks to be the 20th Century Fox logo, like in a desolate desert. And it's like, I mean, we all know Deadpool's meta. We all know he's fourth wall breaking. So, I mean, hell, at the end of the last Deadpool movie, he traveled through time and killed Ryan Reynolds and did a bunch of dumb shit. So, not surprising, but it's very interesting in the sense that this has started to lead to a lot of fan theories about could this be an adaptation of a Deadpool story called Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, where he just goes back and kills. And in this one, it could work, and this could lead Deadpool into the MCU perfectly, where he goes and kills the entire Fox universe in this movie with Wolverine.
That would be really fucking funny.
Like he just goes and kills that again. Maybe all those cameos we hear about, like a Jennifer Garner, maybe he just goes and kills them instantly. She's literally on screen for 2 minutes.
Listen, girl, get your bag. Get your easy check.
Like he just ends it all. He just destroys everything. No more of the old X-Men. I mean, it would work in a sense that it could be a great way to introduce a brand new cast of X-Men characters, and people would be like, "That's because the other ones are dead. New universe, new brand new start." You know,
very true. And it would just also be really funny because I have no idea what this movie could be about. I truly don't understand.
I mean, if I would imagine this isn't the last Deadpool, or at least the last we see of him. I think Ryan Reynolds wants to keep this train going as long as possible. But if this is potentially like the last we see of him for a while, it would seemingly that they're going to go out with the biggest bang that they can. So this could be a lot of fun. It could be, this could be, I don't know if people are going to be sick of multiverse stuff when this movie comes out. This is going to be like the 8th multiverse movie.
We're sick of multiverse movie stuff, honestly.
But it could be a fun take on it where he's just purposefully going and fucking things up. Because usually every multiverse is like, we gotta fix the multiverse. No, it's just like, nah, fuck it. Let it die and kill everything.
Fuck it up. Yeah.
It could be a lot of fun. Who knows? But sad news leads into another piece of this. It stopped production because of the strike, which we'll get into later.
Yeah. We knew it was coming, but
this movie's not going to come out in 2024, guys.
Nothing's coming out in 2024. We're going to talk about that as well.
So we'll get into that in a little bit. But next, moving on, this is some good news. I know we're talking about a lot of bad news about strikes and all this shit, but a nice piece of good news. Officially, Sega of America has unionized,
Let's
which
fucking
is
go, baby.
pretty fucking awesome.
If I love one thing, I
Uh,
love a union.
right? Yeah. Um, and it is kind of it would be Sega, you know, somehow. It seems fitting that Sega's like the big one, that's done this.
Right, 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 right.
Oh man. Yeah, no, it's just a good piece of news that what is it? Some like more than 200 workers working out of these companies have now hopefully will be getting better pay, better benefits, lots of good things from this. Yeah, and that's just awesome. And that's great for them.
Yeah, and that's a big thing. I hope the rest of the games industry kind of follows suit after the whole Activision Blizzard thing, 'cause that was something that they were going towards as well. It's really, really cutthroat and kind of annoying to be a developer in this space, and a lot of it's because of how little power you kind of have. One funny thing about Blizzard is you're basically called the Blizzard pay, and that you're gonna take a pay cut
Uh
for whatever field you're working in to go work at Blizzard because you get the infamy or the fame. It wasn't infamy back then; it was just straight fame of working in that field. So you were just known to get less money, but then you get to say that you worked at Blizzard. That's one of many things that's kind of wrong with dev work right now in this space is they're usually drastically underpaid compared to their peers at the
right.
lowest level and even at the higher levels. Like the lowest level, if you're doing something like QA, you're getting paid slave wages. Like
Oh,
I make more than most of those people doing that work. And it's not even like
yeah.
a little more. And they live in places like California where rent is 2,400 for a one bedroom,
Yeah.
shit like that. And then you even at the dev level, like you're making $100,000, but like if you went into any other field with the knowledge that you have as with a computer science degree, you'd be making double that easy. So it's so crazy that
Mhm.
like where this is the right now, gaming is the highest grossing space right now in media. That's more than movies and TV
It's
and books and
crazy.
everything else, maybe combined, music, all of that. And they're still just being shitty. So I love to see things
Yeah.
like this. I think that's great to see people fighting for their rights and fighting for their livelihoods
Yeah. And getting it. And
and getting
honestly,
it
like, getting
exactly.
it,
Yeah, yeah,
because we've seen, like, a lot of strikes and stuff like that in the past, like, we saw recently with, what was it, Riot Games, I think? They had a pretty big strike.
yeah. Yep.
Obviously, Activision Blizzard has its terrible, terrible issues.
Mhm.
Um, and so, yeah, it is nice to see a little bit of a win from one of these companies, every now and then. Again, like you said, hopefully this leads to a trend of good things like
Yeah.
this.
If it
We'll
shows me
see.
anything, even if it's not because Sega's being good people, because they're not their corporation, they at least
Right.
understand that union busting costs at least as much money, if not more, than it does to give the people what they fucking want. So they probably saw that and was like, maybe we should listen to him. You know what I mean? Maybe we should
Right,
listen to him.
right.
Instead of union
Good
busting like
lord.
Activision Blizzard's been doing, which has been
I
awesome.
know.
Cool, cool, cool. Tight, tight, tight.
And then we know they probably have way more money
Yes.
than Sega,
Yes.
not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So that one's gonna be tough. That one's gonna be a little tougher to get, but we'll see. Next piece of news. This is we got some Superman Legacy, the James Gunn quote unquote reboot of the DC universe, even though it's kind of confusing because Blue Beetle's coming out still, and they're say it's part of it, but it's also not. What doesn't matter. Some other castings come out. That's intriguing and somewhat exciting in the sense that Nathan Fillion, who is like James Gunn's bud, he's in pretty much every Guardians movie, whether or not he's a CG character or not. Has been cast. This all comes from Vanity Fair, by the way, as Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, who, as most people who might not know who it is, just look up Guy Gardner. He's the dude. He's the redheaded Green Lantern with a bowl cut. Famously has a terrible bowl cut for some fucking reason. He's kind of the joke of a Green Lantern. Which honestly, we'll get into it in a second. The other big piece of casting was they also casted their new Hawk Girl. She is going to be played by what's her name? One sec.
Just straight didn't even have it up.
It's here. I'm just scrolling through this fucking article.
It is Isabella Merced.
Thank you. There it is. Yes, yes. It was Harkle, who I had to look it up because I didn't know who that was. But you've seen her before. She's been in a terrible Transformers movie. Brian famously told me she was Dora the Explorer in that live action
And
Dora
that
movie.
movie fucking slaps. That movie deserves the world. So she did amazing in that.
That's so funny. Hawkgirl, yeah, very cool. And then the last kind of big one was what's his name? Eddie Gathegi. I probably butchered that pronunciation. Will be Mr. Terrific. The actor, he was in X-Men First Class. Now that I think about it, he played Darwin, a character that had a terrible fate and it was kind of honestly, I'm pretty sure it was racist what happened to him
It
in that
felt
movie.
really not okay.
It was really it was really bad.
Also the
They
one
killed one character and it was the black guy
and it was the one character that's supposed to not be able to die.
to die.
So fucking stupid, man. I hated that. That was
Yeah, that
fucked
was
up.
bad. That was bad. Yeah, this is, I think the most thing that's intriguing out of all this is that this is a Superman movie, and it looks like they're gonna have a shit ton of heroes and people in this movie, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, on one hand, I'm very excited because obviously I trust James Gunn in terms of being able to handle an ensemble cast of characters, and also I like that he's very quickly just building out his universe
I
in
mean,
sense like
you
it's not
gotta you gotta build
he's just
buzz.
going. Yeah, he is not walking here. He is running from the get
Yeah, I
go.
think we're in a space right now that like I don't know that you are really you can be afforded the gift of time.
You don't think so?
I think that the reason that Marvel worked is because we slept on it for so long before it started to ramp up, and then that's they were able to already have things established at that point.
Right.
Now we're just hungry for it. So if you start with another just standard Superman movie by itself, I don't know if people are gonna wait to get those characters they want to see that aren't Superman.
That's true.
So
Yeah. I mean, you have a point. I think the patience of people because of Marvel was kind of the first big thing to do it. We had the patience then. I think people they don't want a solo movie anymore. They
right.
want team ups. They just want
Everything.
everyone on screen all the time.
Exactly. So yeah, I think he's making the right
Endgame
decision
was
there.
both the best and worst thing that could have happened.
Honestly, and that was at a time that like, Marvel got bought by Disney and stuff like that. So they were able to churn out shit, back to back to back to back. And a
Yeah.
lot of other studios aren't able to do that. I mean, even DC, I feel like struggles with that a lot with Warner Brothers when it comes to making their movies in a fast enough
Mhm.
fashion to like sate the appetite of the viewers.
Right. It's no, absolutely. Like it's like when we talked about like Henry Cavill was Superman for a decade now at this point. Not anymore,
It's
but for
crazy.
10 years Superman. And we was in one solo movie
One
and
solo
like
movie. That's
one and a
crazy.
half movies after that. That's
Right.
in 10 years, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
They really shut the bed with him as because that had a good Superman. That we can get into all of that in another time.
Yeah.
But they really dropped the
But
ball with that.
it's just y'all should have made some more movies, Warner Brothers. What are y'all doing? Just a little add a side story. James Gunn did confirm that like these characters will continue in the universe. So like this Green Lantern may or may not appear in that Lanterns TV show for HBO or not HBO Max, whatever the fuck that is. That's in that big DC slate that he um showed us a couple months ago. Blah blah blah. So that's exciting. Very cool stuff. I'm excited for this movie and again we still don't know what the villain is. I'm assuming it's gonna be a Lex Luthor, but who knows? Uh yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Again, this movie ain't gonna come out next year. This movie going this movie not gonna come out for another 2, 3 years or some shit. But hold on,
Shit, okay.
I think I froze.
Okay. I
Oh,
hear you now.
there
You
you go.
came back.
Yeah. All right, I'm back. Next piece of news, real quick. The Last of Us, the TV show, made a little bit of TV history in the sense and video game history. In the sense that it is the first live action video game adaptation to be nominated for an Emmy. Obviously, it's not the first video game thing because Arcane won best animated TV show at the Emmys. I think.
I'll watch that someday.
Uh, I know. I still same here. Like it's on my list, and I hear it's so good. I just
Right.
haven't gotten to it
I
yet.
just I just don't want to be affiliated with anything League of Legends. Sorry. That game's a
That's
cancer
fair.
on the earth.
Yeah. But yeah, Last of Us, I mean, we all kind of expected this. I think it was a big hit for most people. Me and Brian obviously had our somewhat issues with it in terms of adaptation, but I think on the whole, we both agreed that it was a good show. So it's very cool to see it, get all the acknowledgement in this format. Obviously the big things were Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey got nominations for lead actor and actress in a drama series, and the show obviously got nominated. Other fun Emmy stuff, Andor, another phenomenal show, got nominated for best drama series, which is very cool. It's not
Mm.
gonna win. There's no way it's gonna win.
Uh,
None of these things are gonna win. Last of Us is not gonna win. It's gonna be White Lotus, Succession, Parades. That's all it's gonna be.
yeah, you're absolutely right. I didn't even think about that. It's got to win something. No, I don't know. That's
I would
tough.
love to see it win something, like, cause cool things. There are a couple of nominations that it got as well, which were for, I think it's featured or guest. Hold on, let me read it. Yeah, guest actor and guest actress in a drama series. Basically, everyone who was in a one-off episode in Last of Us. One of the cool ones would be the little boy who played oh, what's his name? What's the kid? Sam?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Sam. For yeah, for from Last of Us got nominated for an Emmy. Like I think he also came as the youngest to ever be nominated or something like that
That's super
potentially.
cool. I mean, he did amazingly,
So
so he definitely deserves it.
honestly, yeah, like any of those people. So I know that Anna Torv, who played Tess, got nominated. Both Nick Offerman and Murray Bartlett from episode 3, which honestly, but one of them are probably gonna win that award because episode 3 was incredible. Just the Bill and Frank
That
story,
just did
like
something different to TV as a whole. Like,
yeah.
I don't, you
It
can't.
would be surprising if neither one of them won that, to be
Right.
honest. But yeah, no, like very cool, very cool. Um, love The Last of Us. We'll again. Every one of these stories is gonna follow with the next iteration. So for example, season 2 of Last of Us actually ain't coming out next year. It's not gonna come out for another 2, 3 years, maybe 4 years. Who knows?
Damn, that sounds so awful when you say it like that, but you're absolutely right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's funny that Obi-Wan
Yeah.
Kenobi got a nomination for Best Limited Series.
Yep. Yeah, sure
That's just
did.
that's just
That was the other one.
disrespectful. What would y'all do that? Fucking garbage. That's not nice. I don't care. It was Disney. It doesn't matter.
I mean, I think it was probably mostly nominated because Ewan McGregor's in it, and he's a star. They're gonna
Yeah.
like, come
Right,
on.
right, right. Yeah, I just don't even think commercially it really did that amazingly. I don't think people really liked it.
I think the first 2 episodes did great,
Yeah,
and
sure.
then it slowly went down after
Yeah,
that.
fair.
But yeah, very cool. We'll see that. I mean, R.I.P. Better Call Saul. You ain't winning shit, sadly.
That's
Great
so
show,
funny
but
because I forgot Better Call Saul even came out. Like that's crazy.
yeah. Shout out to you. You ain't gonna win shit though. um. All right, next piece of news. This is kind of leading from The Last of Us. The Last of Us writer Craig Mazin apparently has been or asked. I think it's asked or has his name removed from the Borderlands movie credits.
That's a movie
I
that was
forgot
supposed to come out.
that this movie was in production at all.
I don't even know who's the cast. I remember they were talking about
I just remember Kate Blanchett is in it. I'm pretty sure she's Lilith, I think.
and I think they were trying to do
I don't know
something with
anyone else.
what's his face? Who's the comedian, the black comedian? I can't
Oh,
think of
Jack Black?
not Jack Black, the black one. That's also short. Uh
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart. Did that actually happen or no?
I think they're still
I think
attached.
he was supposed to be in that movie. I can't remember what he was supposed to be in the movie, but I feel like I remember that being a rumbling about that. Yeah, this movie was gonna suck. I don't know why he put his name on it in the first place.
I mean, I don't know.
Don't know I want a fucking Borderlands movie. It's just gonna be fake Guardians of the Galaxy at best.
That's true. That's a good point. I mean, it could have been fun. Like even if like it could have been like I know Devin was really hyped on Dungeons and Dragons when we talked about it. I wasn't as hyped as he was, but it could have been something
That's
like
fine.
that where it could
Yeah.
have been like a mid fun movie. But I don't know why this one's why is this in production hell? What is going on?
Yeah, I really wonder what's kind of going on behind the scenes with that. I guess we'll get a nice little story about that 2 years from now with everything else.
Right. Right.
Because yeah, I mean, yeah, this seems like one of those movies that could so easily be a 65, 70%, but just as easily be a 20% and then go
Yeah.
down and go down in a whimper and you never talk about it again. Borderlands humor is very pointed in a very way that might be a little archaic, and a lot of it works only because it's a game that's existed for so long. I don't know if that would reflect well on the movie screen at this point. That's
Right.
where I have my reservations, I think. And putting Kevin
I
Hart in
mean,
anything
also
always makes it worse to me, in my opinion.
also if it's like he wants his name removed from this, that's not a good sign either.
That
Like
that sounds like something sucks. That sounds like a big old stinker to
that's
me. What other reason would you do that? Unless you're
yeah.
not happy with the product
Oof.
that was created.
Exactly. I don't know. I don't know. Again, this movie will come out in 2 to 3 years or never. This one could
More
be a
likely,
never coming out type of
never. There
situation.
might be another one that they try to get some tax write offs on, so they go ahead and can it.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
no, it's like the Batgirl.
yeah,
Oh,
it might be
no.
another one of those situations.
Oh boy. Yeah, we'll see. All right. Our final piece of quote unquote news. Oh no, for next piece of news for now. Uh, Brian, it finally happened. We're one step closer to this debacle being done.
Honestly,
The
finally happened.
FTC,
Kind of.
kind of. They reached a verdict over this trial. And Xbox and Microsoft won. They got it. Finally got it done. Sort of, in the sense that yes, it all went well. Obviously, with much of like these gigantic big lawsuit things, there's gonna be an appeal,
Yep, there's still
and
some
that's gonna
appeal
go on.
situations. There's still the whole UK debacle happening with the cloud gaming that they got to work through. But
Yep.
UK probably knows better. They're just kind of playing stupid for a little bit, so that'll probably end up working, and they'll end up figuring out a way to appease them as well. But yeah,
Right.
I look forward to seeing Diablo on Game Pass.
Yeah. A couple of just like highlights from this. They did a judge did in fact think that the Switch competes with Xbox and PlayStation, which I don't know.
Do you not
Does it?
agree? I mean, sales wise, I feel like Switch has crazy good sales.
Sales wise, but I would like to see the sales on what non console games, because
Yeah.
obviously the big thing is Call of Duty. How well is Call of Duty gonna sell on a Switch compared to the
I
consoles?
mean, yeah, it's not. No one's spending
That
$70 on Call of Duty on the Switch. That's not a real thing. That's not gonna happen. They'll play the hell out of
Call of
Fortnite.
Duty's Call of Duty's like 200 gigabytes most of the time.
Yes, yes. The newest one is definitely like close to 200
That's
gigabytes. I
like
feel like.
8 Switches.
Yeah, the Switch can hold. What is? That? I feel like Legend of Zelda, even the new one. I know the old one was like only like 30 gigs or something like that, and that was considered big for a game for the Switch.
Wow.
So I can't imagine what the hell they do with Call of Duty.
I don't know either.
Who fucking
That's
cares,
fucking funny
bro?
though.
Just throw that shit out the window.
Yeah,
Nobody wants that anyway.
I know. It doesn't matter.
No one wants 15
Other big
frame Call
highlight.
of Duty.
Right? Also, rich people got richer because Activision Blizzard shares soared through the roof once this verdict came in. I'm not gonna lie, I was like, damn, I should have bought
If
some.
I had just bought a couple, because it was seeming a little shaky for a little bit, but I felt like it was gonna go through. I mean, if Fox got bought by Disney, then like
Right.
anything could happen at this point. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? So I was kind of like, I could have, even though I bought a few shares, I could
Right.
have made it easy like $600. You know what I mean? Like fuck.
it's like it's like when all the Reddit people made
Oh yeah,
stock like soar for like a week or whatever.
it made people millionaires over stupid
It
game
really
stuff.
did. Oh man, that's so funny. Uh, um, yeah, like and other news attached to this, like Brian said, yeah, the FTC appealed. They're gonna try to do this again, but a little bit of a curveball that's kind of hilarious is that the FTC's chair, Lena Khan, was questioned about if they're spending too much of the taxpayers' money with this whole trial and appeal and everything.
Yes. Yep. Correct. Yes. Yeah, interesting thing right now is even with the appeal, they are. I think July 18th is actually when this case with the trial is supposed to like be done and adjourned, and whether this whole thing figured out. So everything's kind of in like
Mhm.
super speed right now because they want to get as close to it as they can. Because if not, they're gonna have to pay um
Right.
what is it, like 3 million or something 3 billion maybe. It's a lot of money they got to pay
Yeah.
to the ABK if this doesn't go through. Even if they do still buy it after that date, but coming close to this date, it's
Yeah.
important. So
Yeah, absolutely.
everything's going super
Um,
speed.
yeah, we'll see what they do. Whatever, who cares? Uh, other things. This is related, obviously. Phil Spencer took to Twitter to say how Microsoft and Sony they signed a binding agreement that Call of Duty will remain on PlayStation for the foreseeable future.
Which is super funny because it still seems like PlayStation end up with the short end of the stick here because they got a little bit too greedy. Because the original plan was to put all Activision games on and keep them on PlayStation, and now they don't necessarily
Right.
have to do that because they want
Nope.
to act stupid about it. So Diablo and things like that
They might.
might end up being console exclusives.
Which that's huge.
Mhm.
That's huge. Like even if Call of Duty remains on PlayStation, everything else, like especially with any Bethesda stuff,
Yeah,
like
that's a
that's
huge
huge shit.
loss. Huge loss with Bethesda stuff. Huge loss with. I mean, Crash Bandicoot is under Activision. Shit
which
like
is
that.
so wild,
Yeah, it,
dude.
it makes no fucking sense, but that's a thing.
Like, that is a Sony mascot.
Yep,
That is so
yep.
wild.
But they fucked up, and the rights got changed. So
Oh, that's yeah, that's crazy. So there's that. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, so Call of Duty's gonna stay. And like Brian said, we still got the UK, the CMA, dealing with that stuff, and we'll see how that goes because they've also their original hearing was set to kick off on the 28th, which now is not the case, because in response to the FTC's ruling in favor of Xbox and Microsoft, they have decided to so Microsoft, Activision, and the CMA agreed on a stay of litigation, which means that they're going to take a little break to kind of renegotiate and then see where they can go from there.
fair.
See if they even have to go to trial with all of this in the UK, or not. We'll find out. Who knows? Maybe yeah. Maybe they want to save their taxpayers some money as well.
They should.
Right. Yeah. So there you go. Hit a milestone. Man, I would hate to be in any of these seats. I would just like, can we move on, please?
It's yeah,
I'm
it's
so sick of this.
I mean, it's so crazy how I mean, this whole thing was about monopoly. That was the whole reason that we got to this point in
Right.
the whole place. Uh this is kind of scary stuff. Like, yes, as a consumer and it comes to video games, like, yeah, I would love to play things on Game Pass. That's just me being a greedy asshole. But as far as it comes to having such a big conglomerate of developers under your suit like this is scary. Um,
Yeah.
because I mean, we see people using it. We see all this stuff happening right now, and it's bad. It's bad for business. We want competition. We want people to have different ways to play video games from different spaces for a reason. When it all gets bought up into one thing, we're seeing the Disney effect right now with everything under Disney feeling like Disney, everything feeling a little standardized and stuff like that, and that's not good for creativity. So
Yeah.
if this
I
goes through, who knows what the fuck can go through now? Because this is like the
it's
biggest. Uh,
honestly, yeah. Like it's kind of wild and a little worrisome. Yeah, like you said, it's like, oh boy.
yeah, make a lot of jokes
It's
about Game Pass, but past Game Pass, Microsoft just became a fucking behemoth, and
and also just showed other companies, hey, we can just spend $70 billion and just buy shit, and just and most likely win.
right, 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 right.
Like, yeah, it's kind of crazy. Because we all know all companies, they just want to swallow each other up
Yep,
and just be like, hey, we own
it's
everything,
just all gonna be Disney eventually.
Honestly, I was gonna say, yeah. Next week we're gonna report that Disney just bought Microsoft.
So that be
Oh yeah, yeah. We're gonna see Master Chief in the next Kingdom Hearts game. Uh,
yo. I'm not mad at the idea. Wait a second. Wait a second. We can workshop this.
All right. Well, next pieces of news, listeners, we're gonna hop into our favorite segment of the week. We got hit up the trailer park. Let's go.
Timothy Chalamet, what the fuck?
Yeah, let's get into it. Because our first trailer of the week here, listeners, is a little trailer called Wonka, which I saw this and I said to myself after I saw this is gonna be the greatest movie of all time.
I hope that is
It just
pure sarcasm because this looks
it's
like
just
dog shit.
I just so like I we knew that this was coming,
Sure.
but just seeing it and hearing about it are two very different things. And I don't know, it's just such a and the fact that it's called Wonka, it's just like it's like a SNL sketch of a movie.
Yes.
Where
Gene Wilder
but
is rolling over in his grave right now over the debauchery they've done to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, at least the movie aspect of it. Because what is this?
it's such a weird I mean, look, and, like, there's a lot of weird stuff in this trailer from the fucking chocolate cartel that he talks about and the fucking Hugh Grant Oompa Loompa at the end of this movie that I was just like, "Yo, Hugh Grant from D Dungeons& and Dragons to this, he is collecting paychecks, like, recently. What has Hugh Grant gotten into?" Or he's hitting age or he's just having fun, you know? Go for it. But, yeah, it's just like yeah, it's honestly The only positive I saw of this was that I saw it's from the director of Paddington, a movie I've never seen, but I've literally only seen amazing
I was
things
about to
from this
say those
movie.
are
Seen
rated
and
like
heard.
98, 99%, like on
Yeah,
Rotten Tomatoes. Those are considered like amazing movies. I don't usually fuck
that
with
is
things
the
that are rated G, and I'm pretty sure those are
right,
rated G movies.
right. But for some reason, everyone loves that shit.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I just
So who knows?
why do we keep taking cracks at this? I don't really understand what's the fascination with this books. Like
We're out of ideas, man. We're
I
out of
don't get it. The
ideas.
Gene Wilder one was fine. This the one
The
after
Johnny Depp one was bad,
yeah
so
that
maybe
that
they
one was
want
an atrocity, honestly. Um, and honestly, the book is about really sketchy, scary stuff. I don't know why we keep trying to do this and make it a kids movie. It's
Oh
not.
my god, it's not
If
fun. No,
anything, make it a rated
it's
R movie.
oh,
Just pivot really far a different way. Like
honestly, they should, because he's kind of a he's a kind of a serial
yeah,
killer, I
there's a
feel.
serial killer, and that's kind of like that sounds like a horror movie to me. It sounds like a great
Yeah,
premise for a horror movie. I
right?
don't know.
It's like that Winnie the Pooh movie that came out
Let's
earlier
not
or
describe
whatever.
it close to that unless you want to make exactly $12 because that movie made no
Right.
money. That movie did terribly. Uh,
Oh, yeah, so that's gonna come out this year.
he
That actually is gonna come out,
Timothy
so
doesn't have the whimsy. He doesn't have the whimsy wondrous.
not as much.
Uh,
No, he's not again, yeah, we're all gonna compare to Gene Wilder, who's just so perfect, and so this is interesting,
I feel like they
interesting.
just like immediately like let's call out who's the coolest white boy we know. Timothy, can you get on
No,
stage?
they went, "Tom, you busy? Oh, you're busy? Okay. Timothy, what's up?"
You're busy on that shit TV show, Crowded Room. Oh fuck. Okay, we'll get who's their second best white boy.
Yeah, we'll see, Wonka, whatever. Next up, we got more Twisted Metal. We got an actual new trailer for Twisted Metal.
this
Brian,
comes
you're shaking your
this comes
head
out in a couple
in
of weeks
disapproval.
for some
This
reason.
comes out very soon.
For some reason, this comes out in
Very
a couple
fucking
of weeks.
soon.
Um, I just don't know what they want this to be. I don't,
A comedy, clearly.
yeah, but it's like I don't,
Dude, it's The Last of Us again. It's just a dude traveling with someone across the land and coming across obstacles.
and
I was like, what the
at
fuck?
what point was that ever a storyline? And I don't know. I hate this. I hate this. I used to love Twisted Metal as a kid. This is making me love it less. Uh, also, I
No, like,
Anthony Mackie doesn't belong in this at all. He has no place in this world and universe.
it is weird, but if they're leaning comedy, I think he can do that.
Sure,
And I think if that's what they're going for, clearly by this trailer. Honestly, this one made me more excited because to me, but this is only because I have zero playtime with Twisted Metal. So to me, I was like, this is what I had in my head. Just Twisted Metal is just like lunacy.
and it is. Like,
Whereas
don't
like
get me
with
wrong, it
you,
is.
it's a lot darker, which is something I had no idea about. And so for this works for me more than anything we've seen, but I still think it's probably gonna be really bad.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Like we're talking about a game where a man gets into a terrible science experiment as punishment, and they put fucking wheels on his arms that he can't get out of. You know what I mean? Like shit like that
Right.
happen. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I don't understand why they're trying to make this so funny. Maybe it'll be
I
fine
don't
and
know
just
either.
not be Twisted Metal, and maybe that'll be fine. It'll just be a funny TV show about cars, and
Right.
weird clown people.
Right.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Or it could be another Velma situation where it's just so far off from the mark that everyone's just gonna, shit on it forever.
Yeah. Also, I don't think we know how many episodes it's gonna be yet. So
No idea. It's
who
probably gonna
knows?
be a tight 8. I couldn't see it being any more than that.
Oh, yeah, it would be 6 to 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how many. You watched Bel Air. How many episodes was Bel Air on Peacock?
I can't remember. I want to say like 8 or 10, maybe 10.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So it's probably gonna be somewhere around there then.
yeah. I
That
need
makes the
to.
most
Thank you
sense.
for reminding me. I need to cancel my Peacock until this comes out. Well, I probably already paid for this month, so never mind. Fuck it. We'll keep it going. I literally don't use it. There's nothing on there worth watching.
Hey, they're about to get the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh, great. Awesome. That's a movie I'll definitely
Just gonna
watch
watch it
again.
again.
Yeah. One was too many times for me. Uh,
All right, moving on to our next trailer. We got Ahsoka. A new trailer for Ahsoka came out. I'm not gonna lie, this shit got me hyped. This shit got me so fucking hyped for this show, even though Disney has been like, kind of meh lately. But man, I just seeing them Rebel characters again come to life. I'm very excited. The action looks good. Obviously, RIP to Ray Stevenson, who is in this show. Probably be one of his, if not his, actual last performance. Um, as some kind of not necessarily a Sith, but he's one of the evil dudes with a orange lightsaber. I'm excited, dude.
I want this to be good so badly. So badly I
Yeah.
want this to be good, but I've been bitten the ass so many times with everything that's not Andor right now.
No,
So that's
yeah,
kind of
right.
stressing me out. Everything's gotten
Yeah.
so Mandalorian adjacent, and I think
Mhm.
that's really fucking them up. So I'm hoping that they
Yeah.
stay away from that, but I'm not holding my breath on that.
It's yeah. That is yeah, that's kind of where I'm at as well. I will say but for me, there's more positives. I think Thrawn looks
Yeah.
amazing. We finally actually got to see the makeup. He looks like a real person. He's not like that weird dude from Obi-Wan with the where the practical effects looked fucking terrible on that Inquisitor dude. This Thrawn looks great. He looks dope as shit. I was like, okay, I think they if they can nail that, I think they're okay. Well, let's see how the story goes. Story I trust because this is basically fully a Dave Filoni thing, and he knows these characters. He created them, so I trust that. We'll see. And the last thing, one thing they showed in the trailer was Ahsoka fighting traditional looking Inquisitor with the little spinning blade. That fight's gonna last about 4 seconds long.
Right. Right.
Inquisitor is a ass. We all know it.
I don't know why they're so bad at their jobs. Jesus Christ.
It's so
Also,
bad. They
Thrawn kind of
suck
looks
so
like
much.
Elon Musk a little bit, or what I imagine Elon Musk looks like when he takes his skin off at the end of the day.
That's so true. Oh my god, that's so true. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. Two episode premiere coming out very soon, couple weeks as well. Kind of like Twisted Metal coming out in August. I can't remember the date, but yeah, should be a lot of fun. We'll see. All right, moving on to our last and final trailer of the week, Blue Beetle final trailer. Yeah, this is gonna be a movie that comes out, and that it, look,
An-
I don't know.
Another one that I
I don't know.
want to be good, but I am
Yeah.
so not sold right now.
It's giving me a lot of not just because George Lopez is in it, it's giving me a lot of Spy Kids vibes, which could be great. It could be great, but it's clearly very low budget, and I feel like no one's gonna see this movie.
That's gonna be the issue. I mean, if no one went and saw Flash, there's no way anyone's going to see Blue Beetle. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, that's so true. I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
yeah, Flash is much more well known than Blue Beetle, and they didn't do, and they were
Yeah.
marketing the hell out of that movie, and it still fucking
It
flopped.
did it made nothing.
And this movie is, I don't feel like it's being marketed even half as well. And it's
Yeah.
not, the
No.
trailers aren't just bringing enough to make me be like, oh shit, like, okay, like Guardians of the Galaxy, I
No,
think did a
yeah.
really, like, Marvel just seems to be better at making like less well known characters pop better. And it's so crazy because this is under James Gunn, so you'd expect, like, what? I think they're just getting him out the
I
way. I think they're just at this point.
yeah, James Gunn, I don't think had anything to do with this movie.
Yeah,
He didn't touch this movie. But
he
I think
he
again,
tweeted about it once. I did see that. Tweeted about it one time.
yeah, because apparently this is in his universe, his DC universe, but it's not the start of it. It's all very confusing. Basically, I think that means like if people end up liking this movie and this character, we'll see him again.
Right.
If they don't, you're never gonna see
Yep.
this character
You are
again.
absolutely right. Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
basically what that
I gotta
means.
see it for the culture.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not
I
letting this man
absolutely will.
flop.
No, yeah, I'll see this. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna actually end up liking it, and that's unfortunate. It looks like they took a lot of stuff from like humor wise and just kind of adventurous and whimsical wise of Miss
Mhm.
Marvel. Um, I think because
Yeah.
that did
That
so
oh, that's
well that they
yeah.
were like, we like some of those things about that. Let's kind of do the same thing with him too. Because seems very family
Yeah.
oriented and
Right.
which culturally makes sense. But then also like some of the stuff
No,
that he gets
absolutely.
into, some of the things that he deals with, is like, okay, maybe we're getting a little bit too
Yeah.
far down the same rabbit hole here.
Right. I mean, if there's some interesting, because obviously, like with the Blue Beetle character, he can create kind of whatever he can imagine. If they could do cool, fun stuff with that, maybe that'll be the hook.
And not just the thing that he
I
needs
maybe,
at the time, every single time, and maybe just make him be like, yeah, he has a Final Fantasy story in one of the cuts, and obviously that's gonna be
yeah,
in a cool part,
yeah.
but it's probably not gonna actually be that cool, which sucks.
Right.
Uh,
That's the only thing that could be kind of worrisome.
yeah,
We'll see. That comes out also very soon. I think it comes out this month,
August 18th.
next month,
Yeah.
next month. Okay, there you go. Yeah, we'll see. All right, that was a lot. That is our news. Even though our news is continuing and into our main topic. So, Brian, should we get into that?
Let's do it.
First, we're trapped in another fortress. This is a fortress, like we said, bit of a mini-sode, but depending on the time, maybe not. It has to do with our first story about Deadpool and the strike, because we're in the fortress of that very thing, Brian.
We got a big old strike with SAG and AFTRA.
In the WGA.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We hate people that are creative. Not us. Not
I
us.
was like, wait, no, no, no.
Capitalism hates it.
Yes. Yeah, listeners, we're in the fortress of some more news, aka the strike is on even more. The I was gonna say the Empire Strikes Back. No, we're fighting the Empire. The the rebels strike back, I guess. And by rebels I mean a lot of really rich, famous people. um, yeah, because SAG is joining the writers' strike in the sense that yeah, they're on strike as well, which means nothing's gonna be good in movies and TV for a long
We
time.
got the heroes all over again, brother. That season
No.
2 on is gonna suck. A lot of people are very lucky their TV show ended this year. That's
Yes.
we
Oh
can
my
say that
god.
much.
Yep. Absolutely. Whoo boy. We could kind of see this coming. There were rumors, there were things happening, and then it became official with did you get it? Did you I don't know if you saw any clips or read any of it. Did you see the fucking the nanny's speech when
Yes.
they talked about this
Uh,
Fran Drescher's speech?
she was impassioned, and that shit had me ready to
Yo,
go and fight. I don't even
right?
work in this space, and I was like, "Wait a second, where's my picket? Where's my
Where's my picket at? Shit.
picket?"
Start marching in the streets. Uh Yeah, no, that was very funny. I saw a really funny meme of the whole thing where in Lord of the Rings, someone attached to Lord of the Rings and all during Battle of Helm's Deep, all of the writers were like the people getting their ass kicked, and then friend the Drescher is Gandalf coming with reinforcements.
Hell yeah, I
Like
love it.
that's right. That's good. Yeah, like listeners, we're just gonna kind of take a time and break some of this down and then have some a little fun thing towards the end of this real quick. Having to do with some reality TV because that is where we're going, listeners. We're about to enter a golden age of reality
We're about to
television.
get 5 seasons straight of Love Is Blind right after another. Right after another. There's gonna be so many fucking
Yo,
random people married at the end of this couple years. It's gonna be wild.
they're gonna fucking like just the Jersey Shore cast is gonna be so beat down by when this is
They've
done
been on a
of just
family
having to
vacation
work.
for 2 years straight.
Right. They're gonna the next iteration is gonna be called permanent vacation.
Because they died.
um yeah, so obviously yeah, this is a big deal because like we talked about Deadpool has stopped production because of this. Um
I was about
Everything
to say.
is going to be stopping production, although there are some exceptions, which we'll talk about in a second. But yeah, like movies, TV shows, all that shit until this is figured out, which at least with the writers, it didn't look like that was going to end anytime soon. And with this, who knows if this is going to end anytime soon?
And that's kind of like the big thing about it. That's like we'll talk about the whole situation, how shitty it is for big business to talk about things like this. But
Hmm.
you got to hit rich people in their pockets, and that's why striking is the most effective way to kind of get what you want because it's gonna affect a lot of entertainment. It's gonna make people lose millions of dollars, and that's when investors will start calling up and be like, "Yo, brother, I invested a lot of money into this, and it's about to not be made anymore because this can
Yep.
actually like it's not only gonna like stop movies from production. Some movies are gonna cease to exist. Some TV shows are gonna cease to exist. A really notable one that
Yeah.
I'm thinking about that we might not see anymore is gonna be Euphoria. Euphoria was supposed to be getting season 3. It already got pushed back from 2024 to 2025 and now it's getting pushed back from 2025 to 2026. I don't think that
God damn.
right. These high schools are gonna be 38 by the time this fucking show. 'Cause
Zendaya gonna be a 35-year-old high schooler.
there was already kind of like feeling of like this might not end up getting made because Zendaya's getting so famous, and there's been a
Right,
lot of issues with
right.
Sam Levinson because he's a weirdo. But when you have that much
And also the idol just fucking flopped and
yes,
sucked.
that's like really bad. So when you're really floundering that much, I don't know that the appetite for this show is going to exist 3 years from now. You know what I mean? Like, so that might
Yeah.
just be something that just won't come out. We were talking about the whatchamacallit movie, the Borderlands movie. That might just
Mhm.
not come out, and that's
It
direct
might not.
money out of pockets of people that wanted money. The whole reason they invested in this. Um,
Yeah.
so that's
Yeah. It's real quick, did Euphoria season 2 end? Like, would you be happy if that was the end of it? Or did it end like, no, there's definitely should be a season 3?
I mean, yes and no. Some stories were cleaned up, and then some just were
Oh, okay.
left some were just completely forgotten about, which is hilarious. The writing in the second season was fucking god awful. Um, so yeah,
That's
the
funny.
main story that we cared about was Zendaya. That had a pretty yes and no. I'll leave it at that.
Okay,
Yes and
okay,
no
okay,
to
okay.
that.
Fair enough.
A
Fair enough.
season 3 would definitely be great if we can get that and end it there. Perfect. Sure.
Hmm.
Fine. Whatever.
Right. Okay. I see. I see. I see. Yeah. Yeah, man. This is gonna be an interesting time. Obviously, one of these reports is that not all of these shows are gonna be affected. Apparently, this is Variety reported that House of the Dragon season 2 is gonna continue on through this strike. Because since it mostly films or in the UK, they are not actual SAG members. They're under what is called equity, which
Mm.
is separate. So that is what the shitty thing that could be happening is that some of these things might continue and studios might just be like, "Hey, fuck it, we're not gonna film in America. Let's just shoot in the UK and use all UK actors to continue shit or create new shit."
Right.
Which is good for them, but also shitty for the reasoning that they're striking, you know?
Right. Because I mean, it's gonna
Because
that affects the world. You know what I mean? So I'm surprised. I wonder if that'll
yeah,
will move over to the UK and UK people start striking as well. Because one of those, it feels
exactly.
less about don't cross the picket line because technically, like you said, they're not under SAG, so that's whatever. But it's still like in solidarity of the folks over here. You would think you would also want to not
Right.
cross that picket
And
line.
that there was a piece in this article that says the equity did promise to support SAG and its members by all lawful means, but they also warn its members, warn that its members have no legal protection from being fired for refusing to cross a picket line, which
Woof.
is woof. Yeah, yeah. Which basically means like if you try to strike, we're gonna
Right,
fire your
right,
ass.
right, 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 right. Ugh.
And it's a shitty loophole,
Right.
but and which means these companies are gonna use it as much as they fucking can.
Absolutely,
You know?
absolutely. I mean, when I was talking about what the hitting them in the pockets, one of the things that by is Bob Iger? Um,
Yeah,
is he the CEO
yeah.
of Disney?
Yes.
Basically said, we're basically just trying to hold out until these people start losing their homes. Um,
Oh, he wasn't the one
he
who
wasn't the
said
one that
that,
said
but
that.
someone else
Okay,
did
okay,
say that.
okay.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But I know he
That
definitely had some opinions
oh,
on it as well that were not super kosher. That he shouldn't have probably said
yeah.
out loud. But I do know that that was also a quote that was said, and that is so wildly dystopian and awful to basically say that out loud. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's just crazy because the whole thing is like you will literally watch people lose everything just so you don't have to pay people what they're supposed to be paid, so you don't have to give the right residuals that you're supposed to be giving because you don't want to just properly support the humans that make your shit work. That is the reason that you have the money that you have. It's so sad and
Right.
so disgusting. One thing I did see on Twitter was I don't know her last name, but her first name is Kimiko, and she was in Orange is the New Black, among some other things. But that was a big thing that she was in, playing Soso, I believe her name was, in this show.
Hmm.
She's an Asian American actor, and she showed her residual check that she got from Orange is the New Black. She was in like maybe 40 something episodes of that show, not the entire season, but a good chunk of that fucking show. She made
Right.
$27 in residuals from
What?
Netflix, and that is one of Netflix's
Oh,
highest grossing
that's
shows on the platform.
that's the streaming issue for you,
That's the
dude.
streaming
That's
issue,
again, that's
bro.
one of the complaints that the actors of SAG have addressed is that streaming, and then we'll talk about this thing in a second, is the AI component has changed the game,
Yep.
dude. And honestly, it doesn't surprise me that she only got $27. That's ridiculous.
And
That's
I
fucking
that's a
ridiculous.
big thing that's gonna have to be discussed going on. And I know we're gonna have a huge just switch up in general. With or without this strike, we were getting bloated when it came to streaming services as a whole. And it's affecting investors. It's affecting people that create content. Some of the best TV shows come out you might not even know exist because of how much bullshit and flack you have to go through to figure out where a TV show even exists or lives anymore.
Right.
They sometimes they take shows off if they don't do well, and you can never watch that show ever again. It doesn't exist on physical media. That show just doesn't exist. So I don't know how
Yep.
you put that on a resume. You're never gonna get residuals from it. You can never watch it again. Like say you were in that TV show that got deleted.
Yeah.
What do you
It's
what
like
do you do?
Willow.
Yeah, yeah.
When Disney took off Willow, like what was like 2 months after it
Finished its
finished
first yeah,
airing,
finished
and
the season.
it's just gone. It's fucking just gone. That's so
So you
nuts.
have no opportunity. Like you fucking Will Smith's been getting residuals and shit off of the Fresh Prince for 30 years now. You don't even get that
Right.
opportunity when you do shit like this because of the way that they're trying to be scummy about it. And Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel like very
yeah.
soon we're gonna end up with a lot less streaming services, and it's gonna go back to a cable-ish package, if anything.
I mean, it's already heading that way price-wise.
Yeah, yeah, right,
You
right, right,
know?
right.
Like, it's ridiculous. I did wanna hold on, just bring up that thing of the quote. So it was a studio executive, we don't know
Mm.
who, it wasn't addressed. It was this they told Deadline, this is the quote, "The end game is to allow things to drag on until union members start losing their apartments and losing their houses." End quote. That's fucking wild.
I mean, the shitty part
That's
is a lot of them already were. That's why they're striking the fucking first
I
place because they
know,
couldn't
right?
afford to live anyway.
They all live in a fucking box
Because that's the thing
anyways.
is we talk a lot about actors. Everyone thinks immediately about the Tom Cruises and the Rocks and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
every bar that you go to in LA, someone said was like, yes, you have Tom Holland in there ordering a beer, and then everyone else that works at that bar also is an actor. Like there's so many
Yeah,
levels and ranges of acting, and they should all deserve to be compensated amicably. Um, and it's crazy that they just want to bullshit. And yeah, that's only one component. The money component's only one component of it. We also have the AI stuff to
yeah.
talk about as well.
Yeah, let's get into that. That's one of the big, apparently, SAG revealed the the proposal for actors and AI. One of the things, this was, during a where was it? Here we go. Uh, this is during the, one of the press conferences about it, and the quote was that, in that groundbreaking AI proposal, they proposed that our background performers should be able to be scanned, get paid for 1 day's pay, and their company should own that scan, their image, their likeness, and for people to use it for the rest of eternity in any project they want with no consent and no compensation.
there's literally a
End
Black Mirror
quote.
episode on exactly that,
Yes,
and that's so
it's the
fucking
same
crazy.
fucking thing.
It reminds me of like the 2016 election, and when the Onion just started sounding like
Woo.
news.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah. That's insanity,
for
dude.
so many reasons. Because one, imagine getting paid only one time, and then you just look at a fucking advertisement. It's got your fucking face on it. You never applied for this
That's like
job.
earning $27 for one of the biggest shows on a streaming
Right.
service. That's the
Yeah.
equivalent. Like, that's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
And it's just there's also the whole thing about like people talk about how background actors, a lot of the way that they make their money and like get into the scene is from being a background actor. So you do it multiple times. You try to find as much things as you can do, and that's how you get more jobs to do bigger stuff. If you take away
Right.
that component by doing AI, by so you get one job $100, then you move on. That's like donating plasma, basically. You do it once because you out of a little bit of money, then you never do it ever
Right,
again.
right.
Like that's so stupid. So you don't meet the people that you
It
need to meet. You don't understand how set works, and you'll just never
no.
actually get a job in the space.
I'm just like, does that mean like studios think that for the rest of time, every movie, just crowd shots are gonna be fucking computer generated? There's gonna be fucking robots, just like it's gonna be all weird deep fake
Yeah,
faces and everything?
potentially.
That's
Yeah.
insane. One, it's gonna look dumb as hell. It's gonna look like the crowd in a Madden 2002 game.
Where it's all just like the same three people wearing dumbass shirts over and
Yes.
over again. Oh gosh. I mean, but that's also the thing. AI right now is at the worst place it'll ever be. It's only gonna get better,
Ugh.
which is scary. Because what if it gets to a point where it gets really good, these conversations are gonna come up again and again and again. And
Yep.
this is not
And you know it's gonna get better. That's how technology
right.
works. Like, people are it's and look, there are absolutely beneficial things to AI. There are great groundbreaking things when it comes to that,
Sure.
but also pay people. Like
And that's the thing is that we're at a weird place where a lot of people just say no AI completely, and they're just there because it sounds scary and people want to use it for scary reasons. So it almost ruins the good things that it can do to like help artists and help creatives, create things
Right,
that's a little bit easier to have a quicker workflow, um,
right.
but not take jobs. But unfortunately, we're in the world of capitalism where our only idea comes around making things as cheap as possible so you can make as much money as possible. So, of course, we're going to use it in the most villainous way possible at any point in time because that's just the way the world, not the world, mostly America, works.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Like, it's just yeah, it's just crazy to think about that this is where we're at this point.
Is it though?
And no,
we're,
yeah,
we're,
I guess
we're
not. I
having
guess
the coal
sadly,
mine
yeah.
situation all over again. We're having the manufacturing situation all over again. We've tried to put computers in McDonald's, and we learned that didn't fucking work either. So we're hoping it goes down more of that rabbit hole where we keep trying to make an effort and it just keeps not working. But it is exactly how the world moves as long as capitalism exists and as long as people are greedy as hell.
Right. I mean, like, I think it's a big of a shocker in the sense that both the writers and the actors haven't been on strike since
Since
1960. I think that's very
1960
telling.
together, yeah, that's yes. Hmm.
That's insane. Like, and again, like, I hope this works. I hope they figure this out before people go homeless.
Right. You
Like
know what?
like
I've got plenty of TV in my backlog that if I need to watch something, I need some entertainment, I can still do it. I would
I'm about
rather.
to say, Brian, you're like the reality TV
Oh,
guru, so I'm sure it's gonna it's gonna flood.
that's just gonna be so terrible. It's gonna be so fucking awful. I specifically love the Netflix ones because they're just really poorly made, and they're really it, it's almost like watching a horror movie, but then they put what I like to call Love Island core in the background. It's a very specific type of like EDM music that
Uh-huh.
they like to use in these kind of shows to make it
Oh.
seem like really, happy and upbeat, like
Yeah.
yeah, I fucking hate my wife. I don't want to marry her because I thought she was gonna be pretty and I found out she's ugly. What the fuck is this, man?
Right.
This is
Right.
so wrong on so many levels. So I look forward to a
Oh my
lot
god.
more of that on Netflix.
A
Yeah,
lot more of that.
yeah,
Yeah,
hell yeah.
that's hilarious. Um, that leads into our fun little game we're gonna really quickly play before we move on to our final segment of the week, listeners. Where, because we are now entering a golden age of reality TV, uh, I thought it'd be fun if we came up with one idea of just the not even the dumbest, because it's probably gonna be dumb either way, but a reality show in which that we think would probably come out of this, because we know right now, producers and executives are like, "All right, what can we do? What can we make up right now to make up time? Because still got to make money while all this is happening. So let's get into it." Um, I can very quickly express mine. Listeners, I came up with this in about 3 minutes, so there's more that could be done with this. Basically, it's just the Bachelor or Bachelorette, but on a bus. It all takes place on a bus, so they all have to live together. You're not allowed to get off the bus ever.
Ever.
For you're on this bus for 3 months.
God
There's one
damn. So you're
bathroom.
touring, but
You
without a
all
tour.
you almost basically yes. It's like speed. They can't go below 50 miles an hour, and and it's just a test of wills of who can stay on because I mean you put 8 to 10 to 12 people on a bus, that's
Wait,
gonna
wait,
be
wait.
rough for 3 months
So is
straight.
there a dating aspect? Or are you just trying to survive on the bus without fucking?
No, it's still a regular dating show, but you're trapped on a bus, so it's very confined. Like all the other people, whether it's the Bachelor or the Bachelorette, they all have to just they're listening to the dates because they're
'Cause
all on a bus.
there's two completely wild, unhinged parts about this show. One, there's gonna be fucking, and they're being fucking
Yeah.
on a bus with 12 people. Especially if it's like the Bachelor, so there's only like one dude, and the girl just gotta wait while,
They gotta
while
wait.
someone else is getting fucked, and just being like, man,
Wait and probably listen.
I really
yeah.
liked them too, and they're really fucking. Damn it, like that's wild. Also, two, I would love the idea of when you get voted off, just wherever the bus is at the time, they drop you the fuck off.
That's where you stay.
They just drop you the fuck off, suitcase and all, and you just.
They're like, sorry, we're in Wyoming. You gotta stay here now. Figure it out.
Whether they actually pick them up or not, we can handle that in post with production. We can get production to handle that.
Right.
But just the idea of the bus driving off without you sounds so fucking funny.
That's how each episode ends, with the person on the side of the road with their luggage and the bus just leaving down a dirt road.
I'm automatically thinking like the middle of Arizona or Utah or something. It's just fucking
Yeah.
nothing, no grass anywhere, just hot as shit. And you're just like, oh, okay. I mean, I live in Maryland, but this is fine.
Right. I guess I'll figure it out. Yeah, and that's the test, is that like people can just get off the bus if they can't take it.
Yeah.
Like that's part of the challenge, is having to live with 12 people on a bus for 3 months straight.
I'm
not being able to get off the bus.
super interested in this.
That's
I would be so committed to watching this.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Oh my gosh.
It's just called Bachelor or Bachelorette on a bus. Or Bus Bachelorette. I don't know, one of the two.
I like it. Like, we're workshopping the name. We're good with the name, but I'm here for the concept. I'm willing to put money into this. So mine is a little bit different. It's not going to be a dating show for my reality show. I'm going
Okay.
more towards game show kind of perspective, but not like the game show you're
Ooh,
thinking. More
okay.
kind of like a Top Chef, like competing in who could be the best.
Ah.
But it's not gonna be about food, but it is gonna be about working. So I want there are
Uh-oh.
multiple parts to this show. So the first
Oh,
part,
no.
I don't know if you've ever seen a video from the YouTube channel called The Cut. But a lot of times they'll make videos where it's like,
Uh,
we'll have
Probably.
two people's moms talk about their children. You have to take a shot if you don't want to talk about it.
Oh, okay.
Or we're like, we'll have you rank 8 dudes from hottest to not hottest.
Yeah.
So it's gonna start out kind of like this. We're gonna get one random fucking dude. It's usually gonna be from LA or probably like Seattle, Washington. This is where they're always from. Find the biggest idiot looking man you can possibly find. And then we're gonna bring in 8 people. They're gonna be dressed up however they want to be. We're gonna
Uh-huh.
make this man pick what each job this person does. So he's gonna pick each job for the person. Be like, okay, so this guy looks like he works computer science. He's probably like an IT guy. This woman looks
Okay.
like she's probably a CEO. And then whatever he picks, that person, if he picks right, this person gets to go back to their job and do their fucking job. If he gets it wrong, that person has to go and do the job that he picked for at least, I don't know, 2 weeks or a month, something like that.
Yeah.
But I wanted to be like, you just have to pretend that you know what the fuck you're doing, and everyone just
Oh
has to
my
kind of go
god.
with it and just watch people fuck up lives. Watch people just fucking like,
That's
I can't
so
be a CEO.
good.
I'm a fucking burger flipper, bro. I work at McDonald's, but he didn't know that. The stupid dude from Seattle didn't know that, so he picked you. He said you look like a CEO, man. So you gotta work
You
it.
gotta be CEO. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh my god, that's
And I
so
don't know if there's gonna
fucking
be a
good.
prize at the end, but it's kind of like I want to see the person that's like the most successful at lying. What I really want to expose
Right?
is how easy some jobs might actually be, and we don't give enough credit for. Um,
Oh,
like
that's
a dude that
good.
maybe like has never had a college like education or anything like that, and he goes in and works like a really high like leadership job somewhere, and then just does
And
amazingly at
just
it. Just
nails it.
fucking nails it.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, that's so good. That's so fucking good. I love that. Just the possibilities. You could get like a dude that worked at Subway and now he's like the co-owner of like a real estate agency or some shit,
yep,
you
they just
know?
put him in.
Now
He
he
decided to wear a suit that day, so people were like, "Yeah, man, you just
right.
really look like you just work in management." I don't know, man. I think he works somewhere high level. No, bro, I make
Yeah.
27,000 a year, dude. I'm in poverty.
Oh my god, that's so good. I love how it's their fates are all decided by this
Just one
random
guy,
dude.
one fucking dude, and maybe he wins money if he gets like a bunch right, or maybe he wins more money if he like picks the best person that like does the job the best. I don't
But
know.
I just love the idea that he potentially like ruins so many
Yes,
people's lives.
absolutely.
Like all like the person who's a CEO, what if they're bad at their job as the CEO and that just reflects upon like so many people's lives like what the fuck is our job? Our boss fucking sucks.
It'll be just like having Elon Musk over Twitter, so it can't be that much.
I mean that's honestly that's a valid
That
point.
man's speed running that website going into the ground, so we got that going.
Oh yeah, I'm not joining threads though. I'm
Oh,
saying right now I'm
absolutely
not doing
not.
it. I'm not
What I
doing
like
it.
about Twitter is the fact that it's so far removed from my real life that I can post
I'm
unhinged shit.
sinking with the ship.
Yeah, yeah. I like to post unhinged shit on Twitter, and I can do that without anybody knowing. If I do that on Threads, I don't know. Someone's mom might see. Your mom might see,
Right.
and I can't have
Yeah.
that. I can't look her in the eyes
Also,
afterwards.
apparently I heard this. I didn't check to see if this is true. Apparently when you sign up for Threads, you have to keep it
Yes.
forever because if you try to delete your Threads, it'll also
Yep.
delete your
Hmm.
Instagram.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
That's so dumb.
They said
Oh, that's
we
so
making
funny.
sure this shit has lasting power, whether you like it or not.
Right, you're gonna have it, right? Yeah. Don't click that button unless you sure. That's like signing a deal with the devil.
Doesn't
My
it seem?
God.
Oh god.
That's ridiculous.
Oh man.
Oh, but oh, Brian, that's a man. I think we just came up with two
Why were
beautiful
those like
reality
really good
TV shows.
ideas for no
I don't know.
reason? I want to see this shit made. I'm really excited about this. I
I know,
shouldn't
me
be. I
too.
shouldn't be excited about it. I want people to get paid. But also, if we're gonna have this time,
Listeners,
make something good at least.
right. Right. Maybe we'll come back to this next year when we're just flooded with more reality shows. We'll turn this to a full segment of just making up our own reality shows because this was fun. This is actually this very quick improvised segment turned into a lot of
I
fun.
like. I'm waiting for yours to come out in like November. I just need to see it right now. Because
Uh,
that shit sounds so fucking
right.
funny.
We're working on the trailer right now. All right, listeners, that is our main segment of the week. We hope you enjoyed it. Brian, should we now move into our final topic? Let's go.
Let's do it.
Which we like to call free for all. Title pending. This is a segment of listeners. We kind of do whatever we want, recommend something, talk about our day, talk about our life, take a nap, argue, fight. It is free for all. Brian, I will quickly go first because I got something exciting to
Uh-oh.
say. I finally
Hey.
beat Final Fantasy VII
Oh shit.
Remake.
Oh my god.
I have done it. I haven't touched the Yuffie integrate story
Sure,
yet.
sure.
That's the next go. But I finished the base game. When the credits all rolled, I clocked in at just below 55
God
hours.
damn.
Much more than what I anticipated, but when I like Googled it, I wasn't as like, damn, that was a lot. Because apparently I thought it was gonna be like 30 hours,
Mhm.
but that's apparently if you just like straight
Story.
fucking mainline
Yeah.
the main story. And since knowing me, I did all of the side stuff as much as I could before the final battle and stuff. And so I was like, okay, that makes a little more sense because I heard if you'd like to 100% it, it's about 86 hours, which I can kind of see ish. Yeah, but given that I'm at 55, I don't know how it would take me 30 more hours to do that, but I don't know. We'll see. um, but yeah, dude, I finished it. I had a fucking
I was
great
gonna
time
ask,
with
what are
it.
your thoughts?
I will say the last like 2 to 3 chapters because I was like looking at the trophy list and so I did the math and could see how many chapters there were in the game.
Mhm.
And so I knew I was nearing the end of it, but I will say the last 2 or 3 chapters were way too long. I
Yeah.
was like, "Bro," like, cause it's I do this thing all the time where like and I think there a lot of gamers might do this, where you know you're towards the end of a game, and so your body does this weird, like, thing where you're like, "Alright, I'm ready." And then it's, like, 8 more
Yep.
hours, and you're by the time, like, halfway through that, I'm like, "What the fuck are we doing, guys? What are we doing right now? I wanna beat this
I kinda got
game."
that with Last of Us too. I felt that's
Yeah,
a
a little
yeah,
I could see that. Yeah, I could
because you definitely
definitely
got a
see that.
false ending towards that game, so, yeah.
Right. And that's what I kinda got during the last few chapters where I'm like, "It feels like you're milking this a little bit." Because I felt that throughout the game. I felt very stretched out at times, but I was okay with it because it was just still so much fun.
Mhm.
And because I was like, "Oh, I was still exploring new things and yada yada." But by the end, I'm like, I just wanted this to end. Like
I want
I'm
out.
you're putting me at the ending location. Let me beat the game. Don't make me play 4 more hours of this shit for nothing. You
Right,
know what I
right,
mean?
right, right. Yeah.
Um, yeah, so that was probably my biggest critique. Hold on, let me pull something up so I don't forget. That was probably my biggest critique of it. Other than that, um, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I will say, because I didn't have any of this remake version at least spoiled. Obviously, I know some of the major spoilers from the classic game. From the remake, I didn't have really anything that much spoiled. Especially this ending, which after I did it, I went and saw that this ending is kind of divisive. Not gonna
Yeah,
lie, from what I've
uh-huh.
seen, and I can definitely see why now.
Yep, 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 yep. Uh,
I don't know if you know anything about it, Brian, but I feel like you might hate it.
so I already know it. It's already been spoiled for me.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So I already know it. I'll have to see
Should
it.
we spoil it right now? Do we wanna spoil that ending since it's just me and you?
We can. We certainly can. I don't give a fuck.
Alright, so we'll put a little spoiler tag here for listeners for the ending of Final Fantasy VII Remake, just to let you know. Yeah, okay, so that you knew about it, how do you feel?
So we're basically looking at the fact that this story could potentially be going not the same route as the
Bro, it's a
original.
multiverse.
Yeah, the original game, because we see that the echoes, which are kind of like, is that what they're called? I'm not sure what they're exactly called. Um,
The
the
Whispers?
whispers. Yeah, we
The
know.
ghostly things? Is
Yeah,
that what you're
yeah,
talking
we
about?
know that that kind of plays a part a little bit throughout the story, and then the ending, they really tell you like, okay, this is basically the multiverse. Different realities happening here. So it sounds like this
Yeah.
isn't really a remake. It sounds like there's a
It's a remake in the sense of they're remaking the
they're
timeline.
remaking the whole story, bro. They're doing this shit different. So
Yeah.
things are going to be changing. Um, I, it could be a good idea. It's hard to see when we only have
Right.
one part of what's supposed to be a trilogy. Um,
Mhm.
we're seeing a lot of remakes right now. We're seeing a lot of things being remastered. Maybe it's nice to have a different view of the same, because like I can play Final Fantasy VII if I want to find this story, so it's not like that's gone. Maybe this could be something new and
Right.
different and cool because it's different. Um, so I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's
I do
true.
have to actually play through the game and then see that ending so I could be like,
Right.
okay, this shit's stupid. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things. Yeah.
Yeah, it's certainly something. Um, it's definitely by the same guy that made Kingdom Hearts. Like, I'll say
You
that.
can feel it. Yep. Uh-huh.
You can
And
feel it.
I'm also
yes.
afraid of that.
Which is why I think I love
Yeah.
it.
Also fair.
It's so, like, balls to the wall
And that's why I
nonsense
probably hate
at
it,
times.
because it might be too fucking
That's exactly
convoluted.
why.
Uh,
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. As soon as I saw it, I was like, I bet you Brian will hate this shit when he whenever he plays it.
and that's why the second trailer
But
that
it
came
is
out has got so people in a fucking uproar, because people are making all these wild, like, canon event ideas of what could be happening, and no one truly knows. All it's probably stupid red
right.
herrings anyway, but everyone's like, well, that means that
Right.
this is gonna happen, and actually this person, they die, and then they come back to life, and they die again,
Yeah.
and then also Sephiroth is... What? No, shut up.
He's something.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think that might lead into my big theory that this is more spoilers for second set of spoilers for the classic Final Fantasy VII game. Listeners, so just skip it like 30 seconds real quick. In the sense that feel like you probably know this more than I do. We both know this is the big spoiler. Aerith dies in that game eventually. That's
That's-
one of the biggest moments in gaming
right, right,
history.
right.
But I also remember then, and as I grew up, hearing about it was the equivalent of the Pokemon rumor of finding Mew, in the sense that there was always that rumor that there is a way to save her.
Yes.
And I guarantee the developers know that, obviously. And so I think it would be kind of a fun nod if there is a way to do that in these remakes,
Yeah.
maybe. That'd be kind of interesting. I just think that'd be kind of a fun thing to do. I don't know.
Yeah, and it seems like that could be potentially what they're going through, because I don't want to spoil too much for things that you might not know for original Final Fantasy VII. But
Right.
Aerith is not the only character that we might see some different things happen to,
Right.
based on some of what happens in the first game, and what's probably going to end up happening in something in the second game as well. So
Mhm.
I'm cautiously interested. I'm gonna try to put this next on my list to play, just so we can talk about it soon, because I
Mhm.
really want to talk about it. I also love this is your first Final Fantasy game. That's so funny.
I know. Like, I picked the most convoluted one now.
Like, Final Fantasy VII story, like, it really isn't that convoluted. It's weird. It's a weird fucking story, but it's pretty easy to
Right.
follow. This one,
Now it's not.
I don't know what the fuck's gonna be happening to this. I don't know. We're definitely gonna be doing some
Yeah.
lore reading at some point, I feel like.
I know,
on
right?
Wikipedia.
Okay. This made me want to pose the question to you very quickly. Because as you know, the was it Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII? They remastered it. Came out late last year. It's a prequel to 7.
Mm.
Should I play that before the next part comes out?
I think it's worth it. I do think it's worth it, based on some of the story beats that are happening right now. Makes Crisis Core have a little bit potential more weight. Now, that's all I'll say.
Okay.
Uh,
Right. Because I think I know some of the gist. Like, I know who the character Zack is. I kind of know
Okay.
some things that happen.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil those things. But I did, like, after beating this, I was like, damn, I kind of want to. I want it all. I want to play it. I want to get into it.
even with I just think you'll want to know more about Zack just in general, because he is an interesting character. And it has a lot to do with I don't know why I keep wanting to call him Titus. It has a lot to do with the Clouds of Life, and learning more about Clouds of Life is going to be interesting.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So I still say play. I say if you like that,
game ever goes on
you'll probably
sale.
like that. Yeah, I was kind of feeling the same way, because I do want to play it as well, because I never played the original one, I don't think.
Right.
But I read the
because
story.
it was like on PSP.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, but I wasn't buying a PSP. Let's be real. So I just had to read the fucking Wikipedia on it and call it a day.
Yeah. No,
but yeah,
that's
I'm
fair.
happy that you love
but
it.
yeah.
I hope you love it. I'm happy that you at least like it.
I do like the combat. So good.
Mm.
Combat is so fucking clean and good. That's the best aspect of the game. Story, we talked about it. Still a little long, but like you told me, that's just kind of that's how these games kind of go.
It's so funny, because this is 3 hours of the original game, and they turned it into 55.
Right.
That is so disgusting.
Yeah. It's kind of ridiculous. But again, it was a lot of fun, man. I had a great time. And again, like I said last time when I first started this, everyone is hot and horny for Cloud.
Yes.
Everyone wants to fuck Cloud in this game.
As hell.
Doesn't matter who it is. They all want to fuck Cloud.
There's a whole achievement in original Final Fantasy VII when you get the remaster Final Fantasy VII to take Barrett on a date. And it's really funny. It's really fucking funny.
That's
you have to do very
amazing.
specific things in order to do so.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, this game.
Okay.
This game is,
yeah, no. So I'm glad that stuck around in the remake.
This game is just bisexual panic, the video game.
Yeah, I'm just like, damn, they just want to touch this sexy anime boy.
And then he just wants to touch Sephiroth.
He's very much so. But yeah, man, let us know if you ever get to that because yeah, I would love to dive into this game some
Oh
more.
yeah.
Oh, so fun,
I'm
and I'm excited to play the Yuffie stuff. I'm excited to get into it, see
Yeah,
what that's
definitely
like.
tell me how that is because I'm currently deciding whether or not I want to play the PS4 version that I own or just buy the PC version. That's integrate already.
Right, right, that's true. Yeah, yeah. I would say go with that just because it'll probably be a better performance, and also you get the DLC stuff in
Exactly.
there.
Right.
But
I'm
yeah,
more towards
yeah.
that, but I'm trying to convince myself not to spend the money. But I'll do it anyway.
No, that's
I'll
fair
probably do
enough.
it anyway.
Fair enough.
Let's be real.
I'm gonna quickly say one more thing. I also saw Mission Impossible. What's it called? Fucking Dead Reckoning Part One. Uh, it's fine. I had a good time. It's too fucking long. It's like 2 hours and 45
Yep.
minutes. So with trailers, I was in that theater for 3 hours, and it's no Avatar 2, which means I felt the length in this one.
Oh, oh
Um,
no.
and I will say we've all seen the commercials for him jumping off the cliff with a motorcycle. Once it gets in the movie, I think I saw too much behind the scenes, and I just saw that this is the
Yeah.
stunt. I saw it too many times, so when it happened, I was like, okay, cool. I saw this, and I just think my biggest issue. I'm just trying to make this very quickly. Is that I like the last one so much more, and because this one and it has the same thing that a lot of these movies with these big part one and part twos, like this is the culmination of the entire thing, and kind of like I bet you what Fast X is doing. It's not as fun because of that,
Right.
because they want this to be the big serious ending number of this thing. There's not as much fun. There's definitely fun moments in it, but I just think the balance was much better in the last one, which I think is still tied for my favorite of these movies. So,
That's fair. I do
yes,
want to see it.
miss that. You should. I think you should still see it. That and I will say the villain, very good, very well played by the actor. But I just think if you're gonna end this, I think you needed someone who could go more toe to toe with Tom Cruise in terms of star power.
Mm,
Like I hate saying that because it's like I want an actor you've seen him, but he's one of those you've seen him before
right.
actors, and he's Latino, which is pretty dope. But it's like imagine if that was like an Oscar Isaac or like a Pedro Pascal, like someone like you needed. I feel like I just needed someone who could like this. I think the reason why like the last movie worked so well and whatever because you had these big star names
Yeah.
in the movie that could go toe to toe with Tom
We,
Cruise,
we
you
all
know.
we all
But
remember Henry Cavill reloading his arms.
exactly, exactly, exactly. That's fucking forever in my brain. um, but yeah, I think like it's a good time, and you know, Tom Cruise is the cinema Jesus, you
Yeah,
know.
this is one that I need to be immediately on streaming services because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to sit through 3 hours of the theater that way.
That's
I don't want to
yeah,
wait until it comes out on streaming services, but fuck, dude, that sounds rough.
right. Yeah, I also think yeah, I think Top Gun kind of put some expectations on this
Mm,
just because how amazing
yeah.
that was, and it's like fuck yeah, let's go. Tom Cruise is gonna try to kill himself again. Let's see what he
Let's
does.
fucking go, baby. Oh, he survived. Damn it.
Yeah.
6 out of 10. Nice.
And the story, you're gonna hate it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Oh,
tell you right now, you're gonna
obviously.
hate the story.
Okay,
Yeah,
fair enough.
it's quite yeah. I'll just say that.
Okay.
Yeah. All
Yeah. We'll
right.
see.
uh, yeah. And shout out to God of War Ragnarok. All right, Brian, what you got?
Boo. No one cares about that game anymore. Um, I actually watched a movie. I've been trying to do this new thing that I've been 2 weeks strong so far, where I'm trying to watch more
Woo.
movies. Where every Thursday I'm putting on a movie, typically one that I haven't seen before. So I can get
Okay.
through some more movies and watch some more things. That get through my list because
Nice.
as we know, I suck at watching movies. I have ADHD. It's hard for me to sit through a whole movie. So watching them at home makes it a little bit easier. A
Right.
couple weeks ago, I actually watched one called Missing on Netflix. It's got Storm Reed as the main
Oh.
character, and Nia Long as her mother. Storm Reed is going to, of course, be from Euphoria and Last of Us, most
Mhm.
recently. And Nia Long was big in Fresh Prince and some other shit. Uh, she hasn't.
Yeah.
I feel like she hasn't
Damn.
done much in a while, so I don't
I
know why
haven't
she
heard
fucking.
her name in
Yeah,
yeah.
that was a random one. I was like, okay, they just wanted to find a black lady that probably didn't cost that much money, and Angela Bassett, it cost too much. Uh, so yeah, and this movie's really interesting. I heard about it from another podcast. So I was like, let me go ahead and take a look at it because I do like some like psychological thriller kind of not horror necessarily, but kind of like a scary movie. Basically, Storm
Mhm.
Reed's character, I forget her name, and there she's like it's very Gen Z. Like I'm very stuck to my computer, stuck to my phone, very
Mm.
chronically online. Teenager. That's her father like passed away, and it was just her and her mom. And her mom's like kind of strict on her, kind of hard on her. She's going out on a trip. She met a new man. Another thing that typically happens in a lot of divorce relationships, or like where someone passes away, you move on. So she's trying to move on. She meets
Right.
this man, really nice guy. He's kind of dorky. And they're going on a trip to like, I don't know, somewhere in Spain or something like that.
Was that the movie with is the new man fucking John Cho?
Yes.
Is that the movie with him in it? Okay.
Yeah, so they go off on a little trip and then they disappear. And that's basically the basis of that is her finding out that she can't get in contact with her mom anymore and then trying to figure out how to essentially find her. Kind of, it's not really a spoiler, but kind of a thing that I think is really interesting in how this unfolds is it only unfolds through cameras. And I didn't know that initially going in. There's never actually any like real like footage of like, you know, filmed in person. Like it's through her computer screen or her phone screen or through FaceTime or through security cameras. Everything that happens in that is through cameras. And I thought that was a really interesting like technique. I thought that was very creative for them to do it that way. And it reminded me a lot about a game that I played. I think that's why I liked it so much. I played this game called Simulacra. Crazy name. Fucking crazy ass name. But basically the whole game takes place on a smartphone. You can literally play it on your smartphone. You don't even have to like buy the game on computer. You can buy your game on your phone. And you're basically just trying to solve another like missing person's case through a phone.
That's really
cool. Yeah, it's super cool. The ending fucking sucks in that game, so that's unfortunate. But I like the idea. I like the idea of that like kind of fourth wall breaking of like I'm just like a person peeking in on all of this as if I like found this footage myself. I love found footage stuff. You know that, I'm sure. So this movie really, really worked for me. I really enjoyed it until the end. Unfortunately, any scary movie ending is usually fucking stupid. And this one is fucking stupid. They do a thing where they try to do a big plot twist. It didn't land for me personally. I thought it was pretty lame, but it had to end. It had to end, so I can accept it. But other than that, I would recommend. Like I actually did. I was hooked in. I was into that movie the whole time.
Nice. Yeah, I did hear good things about it. Yeah, like in the concept and how it played out. Yeah,
I usually don't fuck with
I do remember
most Netflix movies. I'm pretty sure it's a Netflix original. But yeah, this one, right. That's why they did the cheap thing of doing it all through cameras because they couldn't afford to film it other places. I think this was a decent one. I would recommend watching if you're into that kind of thing with like the kind of psychological thriller of like not knowing what's gonna happen next. So
okay, very nice. And like I let me say, because it's like found footagey type of thing. Is it too shaky cam or is it like more pretty steady throughout?
Because it's like computer camera or like security camera, so it's not like someone running with their FaceTime camera up. Thank God.
It's like paranormal activity setup rather than like a Cloverfield.
Yeah, you don't have to deal with any of that shit that'll make you motion sick. Thank God.
Okay. That's dope, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, you have to let us know how this movie a week journey continues.
I watched one on Thursday as well, so I got another one in the can for next time.
Nice. Okay, very cool, very cool. We'll look forward to that. That is our show, listeners. Brian, look at that. It's not a minute.
Look at that again. We don't know how to shut the fuck up.
One day we'll get it right. Either way, thank you for joining us, listeners. You can email us at thefortress@gmail.com, Fortress about FOUR. Feel free to email us any questions, feedback, recommendations, or anything like that. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and the YouTube channel at the Fortress not tell your friends, tell your family, tell your grandma, tell your cat. Follow the 3 R's like a beautiful Bollywood movie, rate, review, and recommend us to everyone and anyone you know. Thank you, Jackie, for helping edit the podcast this week. Thank you, Brian, for the art, Alex for the music, and Devin, thank you for being here, even when you're not here. You can find Brian on Instagram at ITZ_, by the way, Alex at Peterson Films, and Devin, you can't find him because we never know where he is.
We literally don't know where he is right now. I'm searching security cams as we speak.
He's missing. He's the missing one. Oh no. Next week. It's a big week, Brian. It's a big week. Listeners, if you don't know, it's episode 100 of the podcast. I can't believe
we're 100 of these pieces of shit now.
Somehow we've done this for that long. Yeah, listeners, so we're gonna have a little fun celebration for you next week. So join us for that. And also just be looking out in the future. I think at this point it is official. We will cover Barbie at some point. I don't know about Oppenheimer, but we definitely gonna talk about Barbie.
I am probably already have my ticket for Barbie. I will probably not see Oppenheimer. I'm gonna be real with you guys. There's no way I'm sitting through that shit. Nah.
I'm still struggling to figure out what I'm gonna do. I definitely am gonna see Barbie first, but I'm like, I don't know when am I seeing then? I don't know. It's a struggle. We'll find out. But yeah, next week we're gonna have some fun, listeners. So yeah, look forward to that. As usual, happy holidays and put a code on. It's code out there.
No, don't put a code on. I was baking. I baked today.
I went to the pool yesterday,
Oh,
so it was
hell
pretty
yeah.
nice.
That sounds nice.
No coats though,
Okay,
but
thank
very
you.
warm. All right, listeners, we will see you here next week in another episode of the Fortress of.
I think about you if you're wearing a coat at a pool, you're just like flashing people, and that'll make you go to prison. I just think a trench coat immediately. So I just feel like, what are you doing in there?
Right, that's the first coat.